Welcome into the Fantrax Toolshed YouTube channel. Eric Ross with you here. Going to be discussing Daulton Varsho and his value for 2023 and beyond. Before I do, hit that subscribe button below and check out all the other great video we have on the channel. Varsho has been a very popular topic of discussion lately after the trade from Arizona to Toronto in exchange for Lourdes Gurriel and Gabriel Moreno a few days back, and for good reason. He's a very fun player, very interesting player as well. Let's dig into the profile here. In 2022, 592 plate appearances, slash 235, 302, 443. 27 home runs, 16 steals, 79 runs scored, and 74 RBI. On the surface, those are, pretty solid counting stats. Obviously, going over 25-15 is always solid, but that slash line, it doesn't really stand out. The ISO was over 200. That's nice. But at the same time, his quality of contact metrics were really in the middle of the road. Not bad, not good, just kind of average across the board. But so how did he get to 27 home runs? As I pull up a video here of him hitting a home off of Darvish here on a nice piece of hitting, taking a breaking ball down in the zone out to right field. This is exactly what I wanted to get into, was Varsho really leaning in to his pull power, had a pull rate over 50% last season. You can see 24 of his 27 home runs were pulled to right field, 3 to center, and none out to left field. You look at his spray charts as well as he goes from Chase Field in Arizona to the Rogers Center in Toronto. There was a nice little bump in value here because of this move. Not a huge one, but Chase Field has always been, pitcher friendly, especially with the humidor over the last few years. And Rogers Center definitely plays more hitter friendly for a hitter like Varsho. You see dimensions not quite as deep out there to right and to right center. Looks like a few more of those long outs would have been over the fence there. Oddly enough, his expected home runs in Arizona were higher than Toronto, but I do see this as a plus. Park factors for lefties in 2021 definitely is a boost here for Varsho. Both the park factor and the power factor as well were better at Rogers Center than in Chase Field, and he'll have a better lineup around him as well. Obviously, getting into a lineup with the likes of Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, Alejandro Kirk, and others. Definitely a nice little boost there for Varsho. So for 2023, I'm not really changing his value a whole ton, maybe even a slight bump. He's my number 2 catcher for 2023. Again, he's a guy that could go 25-15 once again. Steamer has him at 26 home runs, 13 steals with similar counting stats and slash line to last year. But can he get the average up? I think that's another question here. He hit 302 in the minors. Zone contact and contact rates were all kind of, you know, not great, but better than you would expect for a guy to hit 235. But again, his batting average was only 235. The XBA was 214. So I think there could be a nice, a little bump here. I don't think he's going to get, 270, 280, but I think getting in the 250, 255 range definitely is possible for Varsho here in 2023. So again, he's my number 2 catcher here. I'm expecting a pretty similar line to last year, maybe a little more average, maybe a little more counting stats now that he's in Toronto with a better lineup around him. Long term, this means he probably is going to lose catch eligibility after this year. Probably was anyway, but I think there's a better chance of him losing it now. So that'll be a little bit of a ding to his value, losing that eligibility. However, he's still a very good offensive fantasy player at the outfield spot. So I think his range will probably settle in, high end. You're looking at like a Rosarina, Mullins range, low end, Tyler O'Neill. So anywhere from like a top 50 to a top 100 player in Dynasty. That's going to wrap up this video here on the Fantrax Toolshed YouTube channel. Subscribe below, and I'll see you next time.